Okay, so I'm inside of Hugo's Way, and I'm in the NASDAQ in a 1K. I'm using about the same amount of margin that I would be using on the euro dollar in a 40K right now. So that's why we trade the Forex, because we can have a higher resolution of orders. So I could be in 20 to 60K, floating around 40K of margin usage. So if I get into a 10K, I'll be using $800, but see, I'm at $12 right now. Yes, I'd be up about that if I was in the Forex. If the market was moving in my favor right now. It is 8:35. And we're knocking on heaven's door on the NASDAQ here. Trying to punch through the high. It's been building up. We got to go green. The bias has been bullish ever since the market opened tonight on the simple moving average, 5-period moving average on a 15-minute chart. Yes, you could. So what I'm dropping is limits for 15 minutes beneath it. I'm going to get in here for 15 minutes. I'm risking, I don't know, do the math. I think I got a soft stop on this rack of 3. So yeah. Here's what it's like to trade the NASDAQ on MT4. There's nothing wrong with the platform. Some guy was Ninja versus this. I think if you could just get the trade on, like if you could just, you could play as pendings with good till canceled. Good, you might die. See, I'm up $16. Yes, I understand that you can make a lot of money trading the NASDAQ. You can also lose a lot of money. Here I might trail my stop. It's the fact that, yes, futures, this and that. I did trade futures, but you lock up so much fucking margin. It's just not the style I'm trading, and I'm not a sniper. When the U.S. markets open is probably the most spastic time, I'd say, from about 5 o'clock in the morning till about 11 o'clock, because you're rolling over all these different markets. And yes, you could just trade for an hour a day, for an hour and a half. I mean, this is the Mark Douglas story, the guy, big trader. Him and his wife, I mean, the guy made tons of money trading, but then he gave it back the rest of the day because he got into stupid setups or just, there's no energy. That spike, like if you just trade the wick, you can see the wick over here. If you got in long on a swing trade, and this is way too much time exposure for most people if they're really in big. So when you're really in the market big, you want to get the fuck out, right? It's a scalp. This plunge here, just on this silly little indicator I built, right? You would take this sell. You're supposed to take this sell because this is a rally into the blue cloud, the downtrend bias. But if you didn't get out, if you couldn't see the lonely wick here, and when this spike happens, yes, I understand there may be a so-called volume spike here, and people are going to argue, can't you see all the volume yet? Well, there's naturally going to be volume there. Because bottom tick Bobby, like supposedly the smart money's buying down here, they're like, oh my God, or everybody's like, woohoo, it's going down, and you're just going, oh, guys, like, the police are here, the girls have all been raped, there's nothing left to do. What can we go home now? So here's the turning point right here. As soon as we come out of the gate tonight, it's popping up. Now the volatility starts, the distribution phases start in the market. We get up and down, up and down, up and down. Now that's tradable for a certain technique. This is why ICT you can't always do auction trades, right? Sometimes there is a so-called setup and a move, but the all or nothing people. So this is what it's all or nothing. Sure, you can do that. That trap trade. Trap trading is really what ICT is apparently trying to do. Is the auction, right? The framing. Now, whether you hold this one position and never add to it, you'll be adding here just on top, become a bottom theory on the 15. So you're kind of a slave to the market. You think, oh, I don't have to work anymore in my life. You have to buy right here. You're in the cloud. You've got, this is, if you're going to do this checklist stuff, this gets 2 checks. You got top becoming bottom. You're in the cloud. Yeah, the bias is this, right? 15, not too, 5 minutes, kind of, 15, 30 minute. I saw that Trader's Way has a MT5 runs on that. So you can run your stuff on MT5 and as confirmation, you look at the 3-hour chart, you're like, yeah, that's fucking, I guess I call it order flow. When the market starts to flow, now that might be price action for somebody else, but there's so many buzzwords now that it's ridiculous. Some up $15, right? Now, if I was in 5 positions on this platform, or 10, I'm using $800 a margin. Well, with $800 a margin, Trader's Way, you can be in like almost $1 million position. We're here, but I think it's 50 to 1 leverage. What they're giving you on the NASDAQ is based on the fact that it's fucking nuts, okay? So it's moving a lot all the time, and when it moves really big, like if it just rocketed right now, we take off, and I think I have this trigger set at, let me look at this one. I think I'm looking to make 20 points or something. But in the script it says 2,000 instead of saying 200. I think it says 20,000 maybe. So also made some drops. And I think I have some pending in here right now the last 4 hours. If I zoom out, you'll see them. But yeah, I get it. If you're going to trade, see, it's already out of the trade. So it already took profits. Apparently I had it set, right? It scalped it out. It's gone. Now, if I had pulled the trigger on 2 of those, or do I just run the trailing limits behind? If I feel like I missed out, I'm just going to double click the trailing limits. So I constantly have a way to get in. Now, this may be too close to the market, and I'm getting in too close. If I go to the 5-minute chart, and we're just looking at this, and how many trades like that can I do? So the less risky is to get in and out, go flat, just be in the market. Yes, if you're going to scalp it, sniper it in the morning, you're in the market for 2 hours, you're done. Your whole fucking day, you just made whatever. And then the rest of the day, you don't have to think about it, and you're always just getting ready for the next situation to set up. Now, this time of night, you may well look at the 4-hour chart, and these tickets are going to look ridiculous on the 4-hour chart, like we're about to get filled. It's like too close to the market. Like, it looks like, are you serious? It's still blue. Like, how could you be buying? And that's the confirmation. So the 1-hour chart, okay, it's yellow, but oof, it's probably going to pull back. I didn't write too many scripts like this, but you can take these and expand them and say, okay, that's going to last for 2 hours, and it's going to be a certain kind of logarithmic entry. There may be a 5K on that drop. This is automated trading from a standpoint of, I see the market's going to drop. Let me lay in some tickets with a double click and not have to think about this stuff, because you're just trying to do a labor-saving device, really. I mean, all the analyzing, if your volume is critical, which apparently these people are claiming the volume matters, it doesn't matter to me, honestly. The price matters. The top tick Tommies and the bottom Dick Bobbies and all these wick to wick. So there's that trade that comes up quite often. New lows, people are freaking out. It's time to get in there and step in front of the train and buy it. Then you got the new highs. But then there's also the continuation. Are you going to be a trend trader? Yeah, it's certainly going to be a trend trader. And this Sam Seiden, I noticed, was mocking trend trading. So you can do that, but if you're going to hold the position through the engulfment, you could call that a trend as it goes from wick to wick, and it may take all week. This stupid hocus pocus that ICT indulges in, this dumb shit narrative about the weekly and the Wednesday. Yeah, the market's always fucking moving. You could always make the claim that, okay, it moved here to there. But what did you fucking do about it, right? And I just don't get it, but this is what people do. They want to pontificate and get paid for it, because apparently that's, people love to hear that shit. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen here. So I'm going to put some drops in. some sell limit drops, and it's kind of disorganized in here. Because I just saw them. Here they are. So this is a single drop that lasts for 4 hours. I mean, that's one, well, it's more than one ticket apparently in there, but that's a scheme. You can see my stop. You can see my take profit. It lasts for 4 hours. So let me get aggressive here. I'm going to put it right in front of the market. Probably going to get filled on this too. So let's see what happens. I know I'm risking quite a bit there, and let's take a peek inside and see the magic of the pending order flow. I call this pending order flow. Oh, that's quite substantial. Oh, that's a big distance apart. Well, it's kind of martingale a little bit there. They're pretty close. They're 250 apart, and then we go to 20 apart. So anywhere we drop it, we've got, I'm guessing that's $20 risk to make $40 times. So each one of these has the exact same stop, but not really, because they come in at different prices. But they last for 4 hours. Now we can make this an 8 hour, and then we got to be more careful where we drop the 8 hours, because we're talking about exposure to fill for 8 hours. So you got to edit right here where it says 4. You could put H6 in there, H2, H3. You can H12. It's running MT5 time frames. They were going to try to do that, and then they did. There was a moment in time when they were going to merge MT5 to MT4, but they didn't. They decided to keep them separate, but they did leave the code available here to run these odd time frames. But 15 minutes is as tight as you can go, because you're not going to be able to go tighter. Broker won't take a 5-minute drop, because by the time you drop, it's got 4 minutes left. Less than 4 minutes left. I think it's just going to ignore it. Okay, so it looks like we could get filled on these sell limits I dropped, and that's a possibility. There's a market's just screaming north here. So let me put I got a 30-minute one here. So this is a little bit less risky. And if we put way up here, a 30-minute drop, and that's how I was trading it that day. I made quite a bit of money. These NASDAQ guys are all excited about it. And so I don't know if it really matters if you were trade on Ninja or MT4. If you're going to trade NASDAQ, it's low leverage, right? They're not going to give you, it's just like Bitcoin. They're not going to give you a 501 leverage. But in Forex, you have high leverage. That's the whole point of it. See, high resolution, high leverage, and that's how that is. Now, it certainly is less. If you're going to trade, it's like trading 40Ks. If you're going to trade a 40K on this broker, you could do 310Ks and have a little bit more of a equity cushion curve for your floating P&L, because here you're just not as flexible. That's all. I don't know if there's much difference, because in Forex, when the news comes out, when FOMC comes out, when you're trading it really wide like that, those are big. I just got filled on a sell limit. Look at that. So that's a whole nother world. So yeah, we're already down the spread, at least here. It's a floating spread, though. I noticed it was locked before. Now it just tightened up. Okay, so I'm getting filled on all these sell limits. So $162, almost a standard lot in the euro right now. That's the only difference I see. Anyways, that's it. I'll go back, take another nap, still resting up.